Should I use a HELOC to pay excess debts or make improvements in my home? I think when I talk to people about their finances, I try to be very analytical and non emotional. And so I would take the same advice into a HELOC. Keep in mind, this is your primary residence. So you definitely don't want to be in a position where you're over leveraging your primary residence. The worst, probably, financial catastrophe that somebody can imagine. I mean, this is me as well. The worst financial catastrophe is losing your home. I've been through it. In 2009, I had to sell my house on a short sale. The market was a disaster. I was over leveraged. It was embarrassing. It was financially traumatic for me and my wife. And it really is kind of the worst case scenario. So I think when you're looking at a HELOC, most HELOCs won't let you borrow a dangerous amount, assuming the market is good. They might have like an 80% loan to value or a 90% loan to value. And all that means is that if your home's worth 100 grand, they won't lend you more than $90,000, right? So let's say you have a $500,000 mortgage and your house is worth $1 million. You're at a 50% loan to value. If you take a HELOC out for 200 grand, it's not really a big deal. You owe 700 now. The house is worth, $1 million. And if the market goes down 10%, it's a bummer, but the house is worth 900, you owe 700. So I think it's important to keep those ratios in a comfortable range. Everybody has a different opinion of what that is. I would say 80% loan to value is probably a pretty safe factor. So that's step one, is don't over leverage your house, because if catastrophe struck, you want to be able to afford to pay for where you live so your quality of life doesn't change too much. So that's step one. Step two is analyzing what are you replacing with that debt. So if you have 18% credit card debt and a 9% car loan and you're drowning, an 8.5% home equity line of credit or a home equity loan might be the right answer for you. If that's something that you decide to do, I would start to really ask serious questions of how you got into that situation to begin with. Are your spending habits under control? Why do you have credit card debt at 18%? It's the worst investment you can make for yourself that you could possibly imagine, right? Why do you have a 9.5% car loan? Is your credit bad? That sort of thing. So if you go down this path of borrowing money against your primary home to pay for your lifestyle, make sure that your lifestyle is in check and you have a governor, a buffer to make sure that you're not, again, going to find yourself in the same position. Because the worst thing that you can do is borrow money against your house. 5 years go by, you're in the same position again. You have new credit card debt, you have a new car, you have maybe even more debt than when you started with. And maybe you don't have as much equity in your home anymore because you borrowed against it. Maybe the market went down slightly and you just find yourself in the cycle of owning the same home perpetually and never paying the principal down, always borrowing more than maybe what you should. And so it becomes a math equation. If you're trading one interest rate for the next, probably a good idea. I would seriously dissect how you got into that situation in the first place and make sure that that's solved prior to doing it, but it can be a great tool. In terms of using a HELOC to make improvements on your home, I think it's a 100% yes. If you're taking a HELOC and you're borrowing against your house, you're making improvements on your house, theoretically, the house is going up in value. So that becomes an even balance sheet exchange. I like to look at my balance sheet of assets and liabilities, okay? You have your liabilities on the left, your assets on the right. And if you have cash on the right or home equity and you're paying for some maybe liabilities, but then that same liability increases the value of your home, that's like an even exchange. It doesn't impact your life negatively. Your net worth stays exactly the same and you have a higher quality of life and you're making capital improvements on your home. So I think when it comes to home improvements, it's a no-brainer. I think you always want to go down that road of, do I need a new roof? Do I need new windows? Do I need a new kitchen? If the answer is yes, if everything that you have is 20 years old, the answer is probably yes. It's a great idea to borrow against the house because that's what it's for. If it's for consumer debt, cars, credit cards, really think long and hard before you do it. Keep in mind too that we're getting a little off topic, but even when you refinance, it should still be a math equation. There's a cost to refinance. And I always look at how long do I have to pay in to cover that cost? Because a lot of refinances will say no cost. Well, they're wrapping the cost into the loan. You're paying it. You're just now paying interest on it to the tune of 30 years. So just look at it from a math standpoint, work with your lender. Most lenders are very ethical. They don't want to just sell you a loan. They want to actually help you because they want you in 7 years to go find them a new loan, right? They want to build a relationship with you. So most of them are ethical. Most of them will tell you, these are the pitfalls of this particular HELOC. These are the hidden costs that you need to watch out for. or it's time to actually refinance your whole home, wrap it into a 30-year fixed rate, and then make the same improvements on your home. So find a good lender that you trust, ask them some good questions, and they'll help you navigate the process of going through, should you get a HELOC? Should I not get a HELOC? Should I refinance? Should I not refinance? A pool, I mean, guilty as charged. But yeah, a pool right now in the Albuquerque area for something that's, pretty average size is going to cost you 100 grand. And you might get a twenty to $40,000 uptick in value. You're not going to get a dollar for dollar. Most square footage improvements, you'll get a dollar for dollar, right? If you're building a room and a bathroom on and you pay $100 a square foot, chances are you're going to get that value immediately out of the home. Paint is an easy one. You almost always get value out of paint. Windows and roof, you get value, but it's never 100%. Same with HVAC. So if you upgrade your HVAC from a swamp cooler to a refrigerated air unit, you're going to spend 12 to 15,000. It may only make a $6,000 to $7,000 adjustment on an appraisal, right? So it's rarely good. Is it going to be even money? But I think some of that stuff becomes quality of life. You're going to live there. If you plan to be there for a really long time, you should be comfortable. You should enjoy it. Where you live, where and how you live is a reflection of how you feel. And it pays to feel good. When you come home, are you happy? Are you excited to come home? Is it your sanctuary? Or are you like, oh man, I have, so much stuff that I can't even enjoy it. My house is run down. I haven't taken care of it. It's a bad feeling. So I think there are some things that are a guarantee. Some things though are just quality of life. We wanted a pool. We wanted to have that in our home, and we knew what we were getting into. We knew that we weren't going to get our money back. So, hey everyone, Michael here with Absolute Real Estate. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor, like and subscribe below. And if you want more information on real estate and real estate investing, check out the links below, and I'll see you on the next video.